Welcome to the One More Thing Tech Podcast, the show where we just ramble on about everything and everything. Sometimes it's tech related, sometimes it's not. I'm your host, Kwesi.
I'm Adam.
And we actually have a great episode planned for today. If I were you, I'd stick around till the entire thing finishes. But I've got to start off kind of strong. So unfortunately, I cannot switch my camera anymore. So you guys are just going to have to take my word for this. It was Saturday morning, right, Adam? And I was in my couch asleep. I say in my couch because I now sleep in my basement. Because, you know, my older brother's just graduated college, and he took the guest room. And low-key, I didn't even fight for the guest room because I wanted to be in the basement because we got this massive 4K TV. We have recliners everywhere. And that's my piano back there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Just like over there. And you know, we have a desk. And this is just like an optimal place to be. However, that's kind of beyond the point, right? So I'm sleeping in my couch. And my older brother comes down. Hey man, you trying to go to Verizon with me? Sure. I don't see why not. Right? So me, him, and my dad get in the car, right? And we're driving. And then my brother takes a left turn where we're supposed to take a right turn. Turns out we're not going to Verizon, Adam. I got baited. And we went instead in line at like a fence place for an hour, right? And my dad bought fencing. But here's the thing, Adam. Okay. Right when I thought I got baited, we got back in the car and we went to Verizon, right? Now we pull up to Verizon and you know, I don't know how to put it, but I love any place that kind of revolves around tech, right? So, again, my top 3 stores, the Best Buy store, the Apple store, and then wherever you get your groceries, right? So,
in that order.
After that is any tech store, you know? So we're at Verizon, and we pull up, you know, I'm playing around with all the phones. My dad's like, y'all trying to upgrade today? No, I have an iPhone 15. Why would I need to upgrade? But here's the thing. They were willing to give me $860 off any phone I wanted for the upgrade.
$860?
$860 for this thing. Of course, I do have to trade it in, but
you didn't trade in yet, apparently.
Yeah, apparently they don't take it the day you get it. You have 30 days afterwards to trade it in, which is cool and all. But you know,
so that they won't take it like there to send it in.
Yeah, like we were in the shop, and you know what? Great. I gotta give a shout out. I don't know her name, but it's this little Jamaican lady in Turnersville, Verizon. She needs a raise. All right. She's an outstanding customer service rep. She explained everything clear as day to us. It was wonderful. Now I do have one complaint, Adam, because I didn't tell the people which phone I got yet. This is my only complaint with the lady.
Here it goes.
I said, let me get the iPhone 16 Pro. And my brother asked for a Pro Max, right? And here's where I think we messed up. We both asked for 256 gigabytes because 256 is the base on the Pro model, but it's the second option on the regular Pro model. You know, it's
that's all.
This 256 is the base on the Max model is what I was trying to say. And, you know, she comes out, she puts the phones down, and I should have been more attentive, Adam. I should have been more. It's really on me. This is on me. Because I wasn't attentive, and then all of a sudden, I'm walking out the store, I look down after paying for my phone. Dude, it was $270. I don't think I've ever paid $270 for a phone. That's not the point. I look down, and I see this box, and I'm like, whoa, why is my box the same size as my brother's box? Oh, no. Oh, no. So now I have a Pro Max, even though I've constantly got on here and said...
Welcome to the family. Welcome.
Dude, and I stand by what I said. It's entirely too big. The phone is entirely too big.
That is just an incorrect statement. See, here's some facts about the story that I'm just realizing. You had the option to do a turnaround and just return it. If it was that too
Yeah, no,
large
I
for
did.
you. And guess what
but
you
my
did
dad-
not do? You didn't do that. So that
That is
just tells me deep down, you know you've always wanted to try the Pro Max. And let me tell you something. You won't go back. You won't.
Oh no, I definitely will be going.
You won't. It's just like in the Apple Watch Ultra. You will never get a standard Apple Watch in your life ever again if you get one. It could be a bad thing for most people, but realistically, it's just all the best features of the Apple Watch. Why would you ever want to downscale that and go down to, the base model almost? I think once you have this for the year or so that you might have it, it's going to be a different experience that you
Oh no,
not
we
see
got to keep
before.
a phone for longer than a year now. Like, dude, I
Okay.
had the iPhone 15 for a year and a half, and then I upgraded. I can't keep doing that. I don't have the money for that. Adam, if I'm talking about upgrading to the 17, I'm gonna need you to just pull me off.
But,
You know
but
what I mean?
wait, you just mentioned a very valid point. You got a huge trade-in value. The longer you wait for the upgrade, the worse the trade-in value is going to be. Just know that.
Okay, but
So-
here's the thing. I don't think Verizon knows that my hold on, that's a secret. I don't think Verizon knows that the battery is not an original Apple battery.
They don't care.
And they definitely didn't see the back of my phone.
They don't care. You know why they don't care? Because they got you
Dude.
a new phone, right? And now you're in a
Look at this,
contract
though.
with them.
It's shattered.
I don't know how you're going to fix
It's okay,
that,
though.
but
Oh, I'm not.
I'm
just
shocked they didn't look at the back of it, because that would definitely alter the trade-in value by a lot.
That's
I don't know why they
what I was thinking.
I don't know. You got someone that just I can see it, and there's
Yeah,
no way
customer
this
sales
Kwesi
rep,
guy would
promote
ever
her.
make it broken, nothing like that. They didn't even check it. See, I don't
Promote
know.
her.
I've never turned a phone that's not in flawless condition. That's just myself. I'm not saying that you're not good with your phones. I think you had a misfortune in that,
Yeah, no,
is what
like
it is.
my battery just started expanding one day and it literally shattered the glass. I was so upset.
Yeah.
That's the story for another day, though.
Yeah,
Let's
for
actually
sure.
get started on the podcast, though, because I just
Okay.
stole 7 minutes of time.
No, it's worth it. It really is, because that's a huge experience. I mean, who doesn't want to talk about an iPhone upgrade? I have to imagine it's going to alter your upgrade to the 17 Pro Max or 17 Pro this year, right?
Yeah, I'm probably not going to get the 17 Pro this year. I'm
Well-
sorry, guys, but Adam will be getting it.
Oh,
One of us is
definitely.
going to have it, and then we can compare, what the new features actually look like.
Yeah.
Am
That'd
I
be a nice
upset
thing
with
to
this
do.
purchase? No, not at all. Because I got to tell you, because I was sitting there explaining to the lady how Apple really screwed me. Let me tell you, I'm sorry, Adam. I got to steal a little bit more time.
Go ahead.
Let me tell y'all.
Do it.
I bought this iPhone 2 months after it released. I bought it in November on my birthday to treat myself, right? It came out in September, right? I'm using my phone. I love this thing, right? Only thing it's missing is the action button. I still got this little silent switch, right? Adam, WWDC rolled around last year, and Tim Cook came on the screen. And I don't even remember who presented it, and they were like, "Yep, Apple Intelligence is coming to iPhone 15 Pro." And iPhone 15, right? iPhone 15 Pro is just made for Apple Intelligence. What? You mean to tell me that this almost $1,000 piece of technology that I just purchased, the latest version of technology that I just purchased, can't get the latest? Are we serious? I was distraught. But now I have an action button. I have the new camera control button. I'm showing you guys it on this phone because I'm using the iPhone as my camera today. So, I'm kind of selling. Should have used this one, but this camera just... Ooh, Verizon
That
doesn't
didn't
know
work.
that either. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this one doesn't work. Yeah, go ahead.
I do not believe for a second that the 15 series iPhone base model is not capable of Apple Intelligence.
Oh, no, definitely.
Especially when it's not even here yet. It's just partially here. I just don't think it's not possible that it can't run it.
And I got to be honest with you. What really, kind of rubs me the wrong way is that they kind of screwed the 14 Pro Max owners too, because it's the same chip in the 15 that's in the 14. And I think Apple really just wanted to drive sales to that 15 Pro and that new 16 line of phones. Ooh,
I'm actually
while we're on the
curious.
16. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I keep stealing so much time.
No, it's completely fine.
Okay.
I'm just curious if this next iPhone launch that we're having in September is going to favor more of the Pro models this year or the Air. Why do you think it's going to be the most top seller? That's a weird way to say it. Top seller.
I think the way the event's going to be set up, it's going to go the regular iPhones, then the iPhone Air, and then the iPhone Pro. Sort of like how you have.
I think it's going to be different. I think it's going to be
because the iPhone
base, Pro, and then Air. Air's new category. New category is going to be last.
But I really don't think they're going to have it last because you can't have a phone with less features, less battery, go after the best phone that you ever released. You know what I mean?
You're right. That's a valid point.
That's my only thing. Otherwise, I would definitely think so. But
not getting that Air. I keep looking at things, Kwesi. I keep seeing what it's going to come with. I keep seeing the lack of features. Is it going to be an awful phone? No. I want to see the Bengate test for this phone. Let me tell you that. Because it's like an iPad Pro, right? How thin it is? Or thinner than that. That's what I heard.
I believe it's
thin. Yeah, if it's going to be thinner than that, like, who is asking for this? Have I seen a forum post or on Reddit or anything when people are like, my phone is just too thick? It's like a whole entire loaf of bread. I can't put in my pocket.
Oh, you're
None
about
of
to
that's
hear that
happening.
from me. You're about to hear that from me.
It's not that much thicker than your other phone.
No, not
phones.
thick, but you know my phone is way too big.
Kwesi, it's not.
Gotta be honest with you. It's entirely
not.
too big.
If it was a fold, like the Samsung Fold, that's too big. That's literally an umbrella and sunglasses in the same time. It's too much. That, I would agree, is too big. But you're talking about, what, an inch or two on the corner more? Kwesi, you're acting like it's going from, like, you know, the iPhone 12 mini to the Pro model. That's a drastic difference.
Dude, that's the phone I really wanted. If they had a 16 Pro Mini, the way I would have jumped on that.
No.
I don't even care about the bad battery life. I would have jumped on that so quick.
It just brings you back into a state of like the BlackBerry. The buttons are too small. You talk about Kwesi. If the Pro is a good phone for you, you have to like break your thumbs somehow to get to like the A and the S or whatever. It's so tiny.
So that's just not true.
Oh my gosh, it's okay. Here's some fun facts. Apple, has shut down the factories and the assembly line of the mini series iPhones.
I know.
If they've done that, what chances do you think it's going to come back? Fun little story before we get too far with this. We have a student worker that used to be working with us that has a bet with me, and I'm going to send this episode to him because I know he knows what we're talking about. He's like, for sure they're going to bring it back. There's no questions. It's going to happen within 1 to 4 years, whatever he said, right? I don't see one. I don't even see a rumor of any hint of it ever coming back. You know why? The sales were shorter than a Keebler elf. They're not doing well. You know why? It was in such a niche market. I don't know who bought it, but it was like, I'm going to guess college students only because no one else did. They want the pros. Now, as to your point, if it was a pro model and the mini size, maybe because it has nice features. But you're also talking about changing almost the entire assembly, the chipset, and everything so it fits in that tiny phone. I mean, it fits in the McDonald's Happy Meal box. It's so tiny. I mean, next to a ketchup packet, it's about the same size. It's too small. I don't know if the USB-C port it might have to be reduced in size to fit that phone. It's so tiny. I mean, that's a use case of the Hubble telescope. Let me tell you, it's the only way that's usable.
Oh, I don't know, Adam. I feel like you're exaggerating a little bit. Like, this is a decent sized phone. This 15 that I still have is a decent sized phone. The mini would have been like from where the time starts down. and then a little bit thinner, thinner this way. Dude,
why?
When it first came out, the iPhone 12 mini was like the only phone I ever wanted. You know what I mean? Like, everybody was getting the 12 Pro. I was sitting there. The mini is such a cool concept. And, you know, as a person who's not chronically online and not chronically on my phone, it's just, you know, this form factor matters to me, Adam. You don't understand. It matters so much. Like, I was telling my mom, the second I got this phone, I can't do it because, you know, like I told you, Adam, if I drop this phone on myself while I'm watching TikToks right before bed, I'm going to have a massive dent. Like, yes, the phone is lighter than previous Pro Maxes, but it's still heavier than any phone I've had.
That would have been one reason that Epic would not have brought Fortnite to the App Store, is that the mini was still here, because there's no way you can play that game in such a small screen of real estate. There's just no way. You can't do it if you tried. I mean,
don't know.
Unless you hook it up to a USB-C port, hook up to your TV and go do that. Like, that's something different.
I feel like that's too extra. At that point, just
Was the screen even 4K? I think it was like barely 1080p. I don't remember.
I think
you're
thinking of the iPhone XR.
No, I know that's the less.
Was
that's even worse.
Yeah, anyhow, 4K. I've stolen 17 minutes. And we haven't talked about a single topic yet.
No, it's okay. It's okay to go off topic. It's okay. That was a good discussion, though. Okay, let's get back to it, though.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so Apple. Let me preface it by saying this. Last week in the episode, we were talking about how iOS 19, and I kid you not, it keeps happening right after we record.
Every single time. Every time.
Adam sends me an article, and he's like, "Well, it's not iOS 19 anymore." So.
I walked into work, and coworkers like, "Did you see what Apple did?" And he does this like, so I look at a lot of tech news. I'm like, well, which one? Because there's a lot of them out there, you know. Well, the new change to the name of iOS. I said, oh, what is it? So he's like, well, it's iOS 26. I said, and I didn't even catch that. I mean, it came out like on the drive-in, by the way. So how am I supposed to see that? First off, but anyway, beside the point, Apple is going to have an iOS version the same as the next year's year, which is kind of weird because it's coming out so late in the year. It's iOS 26. What's coming out this year?
I don't think it's weird at all. Let me tell you something, Adam.
Okay.
In 2020, right, my dad went and we bought a new car, and it was a 2021 Tacoma. Yeah. So if cars do this, I see no reason.
Do we know why cars do that, by the way? I don't understand it.
Well, I believe the manufacturing process begins at the halfway cycle of the next year. Or, well, I think the halfway cycle of the year, right? So you got to get those cars on the production line. And then they try and have them out before the holidays because, you know, the holidays are a very popular time to buy a car. Because, you know, you surprise your spouse with a car, it's going to be a great weekend for you. You know what I mean? So
yeah, better than new floors for sure.
Definitely.
You know, depends, but I always found that to be an interesting thing. But yes, iOS 26 is coming, and that was something I was not prepared for. Am I saying it's bad? I'm not saying it's bad, but in your head you're like, iOS 19's coming out, and then they jump to 26. I'm like, whoa.
Just to make us look dumb. I promise you, it's just to make us look dumb.
Well, yeah, you know, it's a Mark. Either way, you know, like Mark did not have some fans in Genius Bar. Now he's going to do things to us. I'm sure he watches this podcast, by the way. If you do, Mark, put a comment down below and just say tacos. If he does, I will flip out. I'm sure he's not watching this, but if he is, that would be so incredible. Beside the point.
Yeah, that's a little bit beside the point, but that's not. You know, we love to get off topic here. Yeah, like I said when we opened the episode, we just ramble here. So it's not just iOS though. It's also coming to iPad OS, Mac OS, which is making the jump from 16 to 26. WatchOS, which is making the jump from 12 to 26. tvOS, I don't know what OS tvOS is on right now, and VisionOS, which would have been VisionOS 3, is making the jump to 26, which is kind of
That's the
crazy.
biggest jump ever. That is.
Yeah, no, it's kind of insane.
Man, that better include some really nice features to make this. I mean, I want to see Craig Federighi this year get more hype than ever for OS. Because if you guys don't know, Craig Federighi is the guy. He is the software manager or software, whatever you want to call him, VP of Apple. And guess what? He is super excited. Most keynotes for Dub. This year, I want to see him just go nuts. I think he is. I think this is going to be a fantastic year for iOS and for every OS besides that, because he has packed up a lot into most previous iOSs. And this year, I don't think it's going to change. What do you think, Kwesi? You think it's going to be incredible? Or just like intermittent updates?
I think it's going to be the best one yet. Actually, that might be a lie, because when Steve Jobs walked out onto the thing, he was like, phone, iPod, and an internet communicator. That was kind of tough. But I expect this year to be right below that, if that makes any sense, because there's so many features coming out this year. Go ahead.
Well, just keep this in mind, too. They're competing with Android 16, which I've been watching some videos of this, and it has some nice things. We'll get into that, too. But there's going to be some nice comparisons for both OSs this year that I'm actually excited for, if you can believe it. So, yeah. But yeah, that name change, I was not expecting that at all. And as we all know at this point, the iOS now 26 is going to vastly resemble VisionOS, which I gotta say, when I used it at the demo at Apple, it was wonderful.
Did you know
I want to see, huh?
I have still yet to do that.
Oh no, we have to do that together. That's not something you do by yourself anymore, because that is that kind of experience. I mean, when you're done with that and you can't walk for like 5 minutes because you're just so amazed, that's the kind of iOS experience that I want to see from everything moving forward. I was super impressed. There's one thing I did not like about it, though. Only one thing. I kept hearing from like 8 people, there's a spot where a butterfly lands in your hand. And guess what? Never happened for me. That's a different demo. Give you the best one. That's all. I want to see it so bad. That's all. I didn't get to see it. It's okay. It's okay. In any case, yes. Dub Kwesi. We're looking at less than 2 weeks. Actually, it's a week from today, is it not? The 9th? Dub?
Definitely like a week from today. Wait, hold on, I lied. It's going to be a week from tomorrow.
The June 10th.
No,
my gosh.
Yeah, June. Wait, I lied. It's definitely a week from today. But the people don't know that. When this releases, it's going to be in like 3 days. So let's just... It's confusing.
Oh my gosh. The next episode that we have for you guys, it's gonna be over an hour. There's no way it's not gonna be.
This episode might be, I gotta be honest.
Oh, there's so much to talk about.
It's on me.
No. It's okay. It's okay. They can always pause it and listen to it whenever they want to. It's okay. Yeah. That's the great thing about podcasts. You don't have to listen to it the whole time. Just background audio, whatever you need to do with it. But it's nice. It's nice to see that's happening. Speaking of name changes, Kwesi, did you see we actually have the name of next macOS? The crack marketing team at Apple has finalized. It's in the code. It's set. Are you ready for that name?
I am ready for it.
It's now. I don't know if it's Lake Tahoe or just Tahoe, but the name is going to have Tahoe in it for sure. Interesting choice for a name. I'm not quite sure how that's going to resemble their flow of macOS, but what are your thoughts of that name? Well, you like it? Do you not like it?
macOS is just named after things in California.
That's true.
Ventura, Sequoia trees is what that's named after. What's some others?
Sonoma?
I don't know what Big Sur is. Yeah, Sonoma.
That's most likely like there's usually not lakes though, right?
Yeah, no,
Or are
I don't think they've had a lake yet. But
So
I think before last year they didn't have any trees, so we might
That's
be
valid
on that,
point.
Eco-focused thing right now.
is that? I wonder what that does. I wonder if it's Lake Tahoe or just Tahoe.
It's probably just gonna be Tahoe, because like they did it Sequoia, not Sequoia trees. You know,
But
what I mean?
is Tahoe like trademark for the vehicle though?
Probably not. Hold
Can't
on,
be.
let's
It's a
find out.
lake name.
I definitely spelled this wrong. Tahoe
It's one of those weird things.
patent. No, it's not trademark.
Okay. It's okay. I was just curious.
Tahoe is a trademark of Skyline Corporation, founded in November 5th, 1984.
So definitely gonna be a Lake Tahoe.
But I definitely think it's like only for cars.
Well, that's the thing too. I'm pretty sure his patents are really set up for like if you're making money off that name, and we all know that Mac OS is how much? 0, nothing.
You
Well,
know,
Windows,
I think
get
that's the
with
best part.
Get with it, Windows. Come on, charge an
Did you have
OS
to pay
and
to
have
upgrade
ads.
to Windows 11? I don't think you have to pay for that
Well,
upgrade.
I never have to because of my connections to Microsoft, but that's beside the point. It's
but I
nothing
think
like
it's free.
illegal. I'm a partner with Microsoft, so I get that stuff included with my partnership.
No, he's
but-
not, guys. It's definitely illegal. Trust. He's
No.
covering. He's embezzling funds or something like that. Trust.
No, you could ask people in IT that know me. I do not go on those like keygen websites or whatever that the key works for 6 months or whatever, and it's not activating anymore. I can't stand doing that. I don't want to have to change my product key. Have you ever typed in a product key with Microsoft in your life? That is the most stressful thing you'll ever do besides walking into a hitch. Let me tell you something. It's like 28 characters or so. And if you get one wrong, type the entire thing in again. You can't even go push the backspace on that one character. You must erase and start from scratch.
Dude, that's fun.
I'm already stressed
I
and I'm
might,
typing
I
a
might
product
jump
key.
off a bridge.
And I don't care if you type properly on a keyboard and you know the keys like the back of your hand. When you type in a product key with Microsoft, you are finger pecking every key, and you're making sure it's going to be perfectly accurate, and you still mess it up, and then you do it again, and you get mad. I'm telling you, it's like you start sweating. It's not good. So, besides all of that, I don't want to do that more than once in my life. If I do that on one OS per time, it's all I want to do it. So,
That's understandable.
never want to. So, like that is the biggest selling point they should ever say for Windows is that you don't have to do that ever again, just one time. In any case, I'm getting upset. In any case, let's get back to Mac OS. So Lake Tahoe is going to be the name. I am shocked that we got that before release of Dub because, to my understanding, we've never got that leaked ever, right? That has been closely.
I've never looked specifically into like the name. I'm typically
never
looking
seen that leaked before.
for leaks.
Never have. And that's something that, and I really hope that Mark's just right here because you know how he is. If he's not right, he'll never say, as I reported. He never says that if he's wrong. He always just kind of brushed underneath the rug. So I'm excited to see this. That's really nice. The next one, I wanted you to kind of lead this up, Kwesi, because you don't have a hate for Android. I don't hate it. I more just don't desire it more in iOS.
Oh,
But we have to bring in some transparency in this show. People have been saying you're more of an Apple podcast, and I'm going to name drop somebody. Okay, Jacob. That's all I'm going to say. Last name's not important. He's the one that has been grilling me for the last couple weeks that you only talk about Apple and iOS and all that stuff. You know what? Today it's about Android. I'll talk about
After
your
we
OS.
talked about Apple for 30 minutes.
Oh no!
No, we literally just talked about Apple for 30
He just
minutes.
wants some transparency. He doesn't say when in the episode. And if he wants to talk about it before, we'll do an episode with that. But we're going to talk about Android 16, okay, Kwesi? Okay,
Yeah.
It is not out yet. It's still a beta. I really thought it was already out, but it's just not. It's coming out soon. Okay, so by the time of iOS, my guess is, I'm not sure yet. But can you just break us down? And actually, this is a share screen moment, Kwesi, because they're going to see some screenshots and stuff like that. So while Kwesi gets his screen sharing set up, Android has Android 16, which, let's just back up a second here. It is the first time I have not seen in like a snack or an ice cream something for a name.
Oh, on the
Yeah, let's go back to a number. And I'm not saying that was a bad thing. It's just it's different. It's a different naming concept. So it's not just Apple changing the name here. We have a bunch of different things. I hope, Kwesi, you have uBlock Origin, because this site otherwise would have tons of ads.
Well, I typically just have Safari, but today we're on Google Chrome.
You can still put that in Safari.
No.
It works.
Like in Safari, you just have the feature where you can just everything away. So
okay. Well,
that's what I typically
so proceed. Kwesi's going to break down what's coming out with Android.
All right, so it looks like at the top here it's a bug, so we're not gonna look there. But the first thing you got to do is you got to make sure your system is up to date. Now, your system's going to be up to date if you're just a regular person. I think you really need to be a beta tester for it to be able to see the new thing. But the new check for update screen is going to be redesigned. There's going to be a new battery health. It's going to be a new redesign for that. The menu. Fingerprint unlock is going to look a little bit different, as you can see from these screenshots. I don't really know how to describe how it looks different, but it will look different. On the left here is what it looks like now, and then on the right here is what it will look like when it
Why are they stopping at 4 fingers? Odd. I'm not saying that's not enough.
I definitely don't think it's like. I definitely was able to put all 10 fingers on there. It just did not make sense to.
It just looks to me like the add button is grayed out.
Yeah, it looks like it's grayed out there, so I understand where you're coming from, but.
And I'm not saying this is not enough. Like I think iOS lets you do 2, right?
iOS lets you do 10.
Huh?
Dude, on my iPad,
No,
I have 5 set up.
No. I really?
Yeah. You can just keep setting them up. The only thing you can't do is Face ID. Face ID is like one person.
No, you can do.
One person
You can
only
do
now.
2.
I used to think that, but then it just like the setting never came up for me. But
Where's it? Wow. Okay, continue.
while you're
I'm
looking
just
for
checking
that,
this out.
I'll just, the new fingerprint sensor thing, where you put your finger there to enroll your fingerprints. Gonna look slightly different, just slightly. And then they're gonna be updating their wallpapers. It's gonna be sort of like, how on iOS you have those wallpapers that are dynamic. Mm-hmm. That's what we're getting here. And so on my iPad, let me just pull up my iPad and show everybody here. On my iPad, it depends on the day of the week for me sometimes. But like I have this. Hold on, bear with me, guys. Where is it? I have this wallpaper that does the weather for me. Hold on, don't read my notification. Oh, I've opened the camera. Don't read my notifications. But we have a wallpaper that does the weather for me. So this wallpaper currently is showing me that it's bright outside at 7 a.m. So there's no.
You
cloudiness.
might want to blur out the location there, just for
Oh, it's okay.
Dox yourself.
No, it's fine. I'm not going to be here. Like I come back.
Yeah, but
in
like
2
your
weeks.
family will be there still. I mean, like.
Oh no, my family's moving to California in a month. They'll never find me.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I really like this place. Not the point. So when it rains, that wallpaper changes to like heavy rain and stuff. I love that wallpaper, and now it's coming to Android 16.
That's pretty neat.
Also, the app info page. So when you go to your settings and then you go to app info, it's gonna look a little bit different. I think a lot of the menus are changing.
Yeah, they are.
I also know that the quick menu is changing, but that's gonna be here in a second. The drop down options are changing. I think this is what it used to look like and what it looks like now. Then the volume
there's a feature
slider
coming up. We'll pause on because I want to have a discussion about that. Starts with an A, ends with S. It's not what you think it is. That sounds like a bad segue. Keep going a little bit.
Okay, but here's one feature that Android has that, this is the only feature I wish we could just peel from Android and slap it on an iPhone. The volume sliders. The volume sliders are always great because, you can have your games be at a certain volume while your music's at a certain volume. Like, it's actually so
cool
much better
feature.
than...
I'll give them that. Nice feature.
No,
Yep.
I don't know why it hasn't come to iOS yet. And I really... Hold on.
Whoa, we don't know. I mean, there's some things in iOS that we don't know yet.
Okay, but
I
here's
don't
the thing,
think it's
Adam.
been leaked yet.
Why hasn't
We'll
it
see.
come to Mac? Right? Every Windows computer, every individual thing you can change the volume slider for. But on my... That's the only thing, dude.
Hey.
Okay, let me keep going before I actually get upset.
Email Craig Federighi. He does listen to feedback. I'm just saying.
Craig, we got to get this fixed today, man.
His email's public. I've emailed him before. He's responded. I'm just letting you know. It's possible. Okay, right here. This is what I want to talk about. The audio sharing. I don't think this is on an iPhone currently, correct?
So what are you talking about?
Am I the only one in this room? Is this a feature? Are you? Do not
definitely
tell
a
me.
feature. Okay, look. You're going to go here, right? And you're going to have to listen to some music, right? But you're going to hit this. And then, hold on. Let me actually play some music. It's going to have to go
I
through
feel
your
so
AirPods,
uninformed.
You have to have it requires both users to have a pair of AirPods or Beats. You can do it with Beats. Hold on.
I have something on right now.
When you're sharing music or when you have your screen up, what you're going to do is press share audio and then it'll bring up this menu, and then if someone has AirPods around you, they can also join your little music sharing thing. So we've had that feature for a while now.
Hold up. Is it under AirPlay?
Is it what?
Under AirPlay? Am I just not seeing this?
No, it's
Okay, so if I'm at the screen, I'm just gonna play something straight. Okay, I'm at play music right now.
Right.
Okay.
But it has to be going through your AirPods in order for this to work. Like,
So
you have
that's
to be
where I'm
playing
not
into your
doing it right
AirPods.
now. Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably why. Okay. My
And then
gosh, guys.
It is where that AirPlay thing
now.
is. It is definitely where that AirPlay thing is, and then it'll pop up right under the little AirPods, and it'll say share audio.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I take that back. Maybe I'm just not. I'm gonna really listen to WW this year. I am
Oh, this
vastly
guy's not
behind.
informed.
My gosh. Okay. Sorry. Proceed.
Yes. So it's sort of like this is sort of like the Apple feature here, but I'm assuming that there will be a lot more compatible headphones, a lot more than just Beats and AirPods. So.
And we don't have to go through every single thing here. Just
no,
so you
we
know,
definitely do, because we're going to be comparing features with iOS.
Okay.
19 here in a second. Sorry, iOS 26.
26, yes.
Again, they're gonna make it so that your wallpaper is more customizable. So, like, you can customize the thickness of the font, the thinness of it, how it appears, everything, like sort of how Apple did. I'm not gonna lie,
Just like Apple.
Apple did this.
Is it lock screen, or is this wallpaper in the background?
I believe this is lock screen here.
So, okay,
For that one, yeah.
which is good. I'm glad it's on both, but don't just tell me that it's always been an Android and then it goes to Apple. See, right here's an example. It's not the case at all.
Right, and then they're redesigning the app list. I really don't like this. I gotta be honest.
That's a bad. That's a bad example of a screenshot. Because can you not just put the apps wherever you want on the screen? Like, is that not a thing still?
It definitely is, but like on the app list, what happens is it shows every app, right?
So
But
like app
it's
library,
usually full
basically.
screened, and now it's like a menu, and I really just don't like that. But I won't be dealing with it because I don't have an Android right now.
That's like app library, correct? Essentially, where it's like the whole
Yeah.
list and okay.
All right, notifications are getting redesigned. Now it's going to take you an extra swipe to get your quick settings. That'll be annoying, so I feel for you guys on that.
Let's pause for 1 second because
Go
this
ahead.
article is not even listing who I heard as a feature that is actually phenomenal. Supposedly, and I didn't know this was a thing, but you were able to, on an Android, while you're in a call, do a side load, and that was a big issue for, I guess, years. Where as of now, not now, when this does come out, you're going to be able to, while you're in a call, and let's say you're talking to a scam guy, right? Let's call him Bob. So Bob's trying to say, guess what? If you download this app right now, you'll get $100. Okay? And in mid-call, they would like, not airdrop, but like somehow send this app as a siloed app, so just install. And then you could have whatever malware that you want on your phone to do malware stuff. Well, I guess Google has now turned that feature off, so it's going to block that siloed app during a call, and you're able to like have more security. So there's that. And they're having more restrictions on the actual sideloading, so it doesn't just install without you knowing what's going on. So that's a feature they're trying to do, makes a little more secure for Android, and I like that. And I just had no clue that during a call they could like send an app pre-authorized to install. Did you know that?
That's kind of crazy. I had no clue.
No
Because
clue
I'm an
at all.
Apple user. That's never happened to me. Also, guys, scams are like the stupidest thing ever. Like, I don't understand how people actually fall for them.
Well,
that's not true. Go ahead.
I know why. Here's exactly why. There's two reasons. One, it's the scare factor. If you don't comply and do Z thing, we're going to send you to jail. We're going to send you a fine. The IRS is coming to take your house and all this other stuff. And all you got to do, guys, is send us $8,000 in iTunes gift cards. That's all you got to do. Just go to Target, buy it, give us the codes, and we will be so happy with this Apple gift card to clear your debt. I mean, all of it. So I guess for me, it's more so just there needs to be a training for people that are not just old people, even young people, don't fall for stuff like this, because let me tell you something. It is increasingly getting worse, Kwesi.
It's definitely getting worse.
They're also getting more sneaky with things. They're not even like, it's not even just a scare factor. It could be as simple as, oh, do you want these AirPods Max? They're only $300. Normally $549. $300. And guess what? You pay them on Facebook Marketplace or some scam website, and that happens. And it's almost impossible to not get scammed or not understand that it is fully a scam. Just know some of the key points of a scam. Like, Apple is not going to email you saying your account is going to be shut down if you don't pay them $10, right? And from the email account that is apple-support at quizling.com, not apple.com, right? So just know those certain things that you can do to make that a little better. Completely off topic again. Sorry, proceed.
Wait, while we're here, though, I do want to point out one scam that I've been hearing about a lot recently. With the rise of AI, you can pretty much just clone anyone's voice. And they almost got my grandma. Because, one day I'm at school, I receive a call from my dad. Why are you asking your grandma for $2,000? What? Me? What I need $2,000 for, Dad?
Wow.
Come on now. Luckily, my grandma is not an idiot. And, she called around to confirm, but, like...
They use your
watch
voice?
Watch out for that. Yeah. So,
oh my God.
It's about time I need to stop answering all the scam likely calls and playing around with them. It has finally come around to bite me
I
in the
do
butt.
too, but I have so much fun with it, Kwesi. It's
Dude, it's the greatest
you've not heard me
ever.
do it. It's so fun. But that's a little scary. Yeah, AI is getting crazy, guys. Just so you know, but it's used for great things too. But just be a little bit cautious with it. That's all I gotta say. Right. Okay, proceed with this because so we're on app list. Okay, share screen please too, so we can see it.
Yep. So, settings app is getting redesigned. Not a huge redesign.
Cleaner.
It's not crazy.
Looks
it is
cleaner,
a little bit cleaner. Again, the lock screen gets redesigned. It's looking a little bit more like iOS.
Does that look odd to you?
Yeah, but like the fact that it's more customizable is really where it's at.
Okay.
I will say that Apple took forever to change these two buttons at the bottom. Android did do that first. There's a new home screen grid, which I guess is cool.
You couldn't put the apps above the little calendar thing before?
No, that's not what it was. It was that like you can make the grid smaller, or like you can make it more compact, or have more space between your apps. Like I said earlier, the quick settings menu got redesigned. It's going to take you an extra swipe to get there. You're going to have to swipe down for notifications and then swipe to the left. That would actually annoy me. And that's about it. That's about, every feature from iOS, not iOS, from Android OS 16.
I didn't see anywhere. I didn't see a single spot where they're trying to reduce, the scam and malware apps on the Google Play Store.
I think that's just a constant thing with them. Like, they're always trying to fix that.
They could do that. I'm not saying to not saying block apps. I'm more saying just get 4 people or more, whatever it takes, that just goes through that, like what Apple does, goes through the code and verifies that they're not going to scam you out of Bitcoin or whatever, right? Or it's not going to be the actual Outlook app or Excel app. It's going to be, the official one from Microsoft. I've seen, and we've seen this with MFA apps consistently. That is a scary thing. Be very extra careful that you are setting up MFA with the correct Google Authenticator or from Microsoft or whoever, and not some scam, because that's the app where you're giving away all your passwords. So that's just another scam that you have to really be careful that you're choosing the correct app. So that's for anybody, right? Not just for iOS or Android. It's just for any platform. Just be very, very, very sure you're doing that correctly. Okay? Just very important there. But in any case, I wish that my thing is I like some of these features, right? It's more of a from what I read and seen online, they're doing a more UI change more than features this year, which is fine.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that they're taking a step back and just try to make things look nice. That's great. Do that, but I just really wish they would really focus on their Google Play and third-party app stores, that they can validate the app is not going to be bad. That would be a huge, big win for them. So that's my little take on it, but it does look nice. Good job, Google.
All right. So obviously, the biggest competitor to Android is iOS.
It's not Zune, so
it's not
sorry.
Zune. Dude,
remember that?
Completely off topic. I found my dad's Zune yesterday, dude. I should have brought it down. I didn't know we were gonna bring it up. I definitely should have brought it down.
Does it even turn on anymore?
Dude, it does.
Does it? You can't download anything, but
no,
yeah.
You could definitely hook it up to a computer still. I played music off of it. Now the question is, why did my dad have a Zune and an iPod at the same time?
Well, obviously to try out.
Let's be on the point. So obviously, like I was saying, biggest competitor is iOS, and they will be releasing kind of close to each other. I lied. So Android 16 should be coming out for everybody around June 3rd, which is tomorrow for us, but it'll be when this episode comes out. And then, ironically, Apple will be unveiling iOS 26 the week after. So we'll see what kind of changes Apple brings. And, a lot of the time at WWDC, Android would have just put out a feature and then Apple would be putting out something similar. And then I'll hear people, oh, Android did it first. They took that straight from Android. Here's the thing, Adam. If we're releasing... I'm not saying we because I'm not part of Apple's team. But if Apple's releasing something a week after, tell me how they could have the time to steal that. A week?
Yeah.
A week. Come on, bro. You're going to get me upset. That don't even make sense.
Apple's not that fast at developing something for an iOS experience. They're just not. But you know what? They just let them have their time, because for once it's on the flip.
It's a coping mechanism.
It's a flip.
It's definitely a coping mechanism.
I don't know. See, okay, I'll go back to this. My biggest, I would say thing that Android needs to make a lot easier is this. You can give an iPhone to any person that has a face, right? And they can just probably use it out of the box. And I'm sure that like instructions on how to use iOS is not really even needed at all because they can just do it, right? But Android takes a little bit more time to get to know how to use. And is it treacherous? No. But I can't give an Android phone to my grandma and say, hey, do it. It's going to be a learning experience. And that's
Just
one of the things that makes it different. And the other part about it is this, too. It's, grandma wants to put on the Garmin app on her phone for GPS because she doesn't understand the maps does it the same thing. And she gets this other app that's not really Garmin and it has problems. So, it's not as simple to just say, do this. If I say go to the App Store from Apple and get the Outlook app, that's the app that's going to be listed, and it's going to be from Microsoft. It's going to be the legit app. But Google has slight variants that look just like it, and it's just, I don't know, it's not vetted as much. So,
I think that's a little bit unfair to say because they do have the verified apps at the top. So if grandma's picking a bad app, it's really on grandma at that point.
But that's the thing. Are they looking for that verified status? They're looking for an icon and an app. For Apple, it's just literally the entire list of apps is like this. That's all vetted, not just some. They're getting better, but just in my experience, it takes more effort for someone who does not know how to use smartphones to get to learn how to use Android. It's a little different. It's getting better. The main thing's a little better. It's not there yet. I'll go back to this.
It just depends on what you start with because I feel like the learning curve is, a little bit higher on Android, but it's not that different. Especially now. But like in the past, you would have needed a PhD if you're switching from iPhone to Android. You're just not doing it.
And that's just something that I think I mentioned that to you too. A certain person at work was talking about that at this point in time, I think the users that switch is almost like it has to be half a person a year at most. Who switches from a platform to a platform? Because here's the thing, Kwesi. How many apps or movies or songs or whatever have you purchased on iOS compared to Android? You have to redo all that. And it's like, well, the process to switch to a new platform is just, it's not worth it for most people. Like, you need a week just to process that.
Because when I was on Android, I made maybe 2 purchases. I bought Retro Bowl Premium, or I don't know if it's called Premium, but I bought the unlimited version of Retro Bowl. I don't know if you know what that is, but it was like the greatest game ever when I was in my my sophomore and junior year of high school. But then I also bought like one other thing. I think I bought like a couple songs. Now compared to what I bought on my iPhone, dude, I have every Lego game on here, and each of them Lego games are $6.
So
I can't do it.
So
I can't do it.
They know that, and it's not just Apple. Android too has their own ecosystem with things because, like, guess what? I have an Apple Watch. Am I going to bring it over to an Android phone? No, you can, but
actually doesn't
not
even,
really.
No, you can't. You cannot. It does not even work on an Android phone.
Oh, well, lucky for me, it doesn't, I guess.
Your AirPods will work.
Yes. Well,
that's about the only
functionality.
accessory type thing that'll work.
Yeah, but it doesn't have all the features. No, it doesn't.
No, it does. As long as you have it all turned on beforehand.
The pencil. I was agreeing.
The pencil won't work at all.
Correct. No. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's the one thing that both companies have locked down is when you have a person that has it, that for them to switch is going to be it would take a drastic reason for that to happen, and nothing that I see on either side is drastic enough for you to switch. And it's just a big thing that people don't have time for. They don't want to deal with, and like moving contacts over, moving all their text over, and then changing how they do their daily life. It's just going to be something that people don't want to do. So maybe I'm wrong. I think it probably does happen, but not as much. So anyway, there's one more story that was completely unrelated from that. But before I get to that, was there any final thoughts you had on iOS versus Android? What's coming out? What you like, what you don't like, what you're looking forward to?
What am I looking forward to? I'm definitely looking forward to see MKBHD's video and how he can relate the release of Android 16 to iOS 26. Also, I don't know if this is like an intentional thing, but that does put us 10 generations above Android. And the only way they can catch up is if they copy us now. So,
well, one more thing
checkmate.
too. We're getting close to like an iOS 7 kind of a transparent look with this iOS 2. I'm kind
Not a fan.
of digging that. You're not a fan.
Not a fan.
I'm not saying like the absolute copy of iOS 7. Not that. It's going to be a kind of transparent interface for the menus, not for app icons.
Right.
That I'm looking forward to. Because certain times I don't need to see like the background of a notification center or whatever, right? I just want to see some of the icons. I don't know. It's just what I'm looking forward to.
Okay, so we're definitely on pace to go over. So I'm gonna let you hit this
Yes.
last topic, and then we'll hit our app of the week segment, and then we'll start wrapping up.
Okay, so I love how movies are made. I'm a huge fan of like behind the scenes of how things are developed, what goes on to make a movie or a TV show. I'm not sure if I told you this, but close to where I live, there was a not a whole season, but a part of a season of Fargo, which is, if you never watched that show, Kwesi, put that on the top of your list. It's a phenomenal show. It's a little bit different. Essentially, the basis of that show is actual crimes of like murders and stuff like that are completely separate from everything get combined into one story for a season. It's a great concept, and it just goes crazy nuts in how they do that collaboration of those crimes that are completely unrelated, and it's very, very interesting. Beside the point of all that, they filmed like for a week really close to where I live. And they said, oh, the road's closed for maintenance. And they try to play off like nothing was happening there. But we could all definitely tell that something was happening there. I really wanted to go and see how that was all made. Because for me, it's just really impressive how you think it's not just a camera and a mic anymore for watching a movie, right? There is far more people. Watch the credits of any movie. It's like, 100,000 people make one movie. It's just insane to me. Any case, all that to say, the film 28 days later was shot and filmed on iPhone, which we're seeing some directors and some studios do for certain movies. Not for the entire movie for the most case, but the iPhone's getting really good. It's getting to the point where, at least for a multicam shot, they're doing that. So, in any case, can you share the screen, Kwesi? Because this screenshot that they show for 20 days later from IGN, that is nuts. That rig is crazy to me, what they did here. But they shot this movie on iPhone. I think the whole movie was shot on iPhone. Not just one, but several iPhones. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
20?
9, 10,
Yeah, there's
11,
19 of them. There's so many iPhones on the thing.
about 20. So we're going to share a screen. So this, can you zoom in on just that image?
Just on the image.
Yeah. This is an example of just one scene where they shot this. So that's several multicam shots shot on iPhone, and I'm super impressed that they could do something like that. So I don't know what this movie really is. I'm guessing it's a zombie movie of some sort. The guy looks like he's a zombie.
The guy looks like he's dying.
Dying or dead, or, really just went to Taco Bell to have some chicken nuggets and had some adverse side effects.
Dude. Yeah, let me tell you about the adverse side effects. It's horrible.
In any case, for me, I love seeing when studios do this, and I believe this entire movie was shot on an iPhone. And to see, I'm not sure I'll watch it, but I will say I want to see some clips to see how well it was done, because the iPhone camera is getting fantastic. Is it going to beat a high-end studio camera from Red or whatever? Probably not. But at least for multicam shots, it's really nice, and I want to see more of this, and I thought this was kind of cool to bring up. What are your thoughts, Kwesi?
I typically say this a lot. iPhones are some of the best cameras you can get. They're basically just cameras with some really cool software. You know what I mean? A lot of the time, iPhone haters will say, the iPhone isn't even... It's the same thing every year. It just has a better camera. Yeah. First off, it's not the same thing every year. but it does have a better camera. You know what I mean? It just keeps getting better and better. And yes, it's not going to replace a studio quality camera for a long shot. Like if I'm trying to do an extremely long shot, I'm probably not going to use my iPhone. But the fact that I have this movie making device in my pocket, yeah, like Android wants to say they're doing that. But when have you ever seen a movie shot on Samsung Galaxy S25? Maybe there are. Maybe I'm uninformed.
Because the second they show the moon, it's going to be an image from Google.
I promise.
Sorry.
Do you remember that scandal?
That was a very, very
scandalous.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
I just want to bring it up.
It is now time for my favorite segment, Adam. I definitely just cut you off. But it is now time for my favorite segment.
Okay.
Adam, what is your app of the week this week?
I found an app from 95Mac that when they mentioned this, and is this app necessary for every person? Nope. I'll say that right now. Can you share your screen with this, if you don't mind? The actual app store page.
Oh, that's actually what it opens for me. So
that's what I want to show. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was about to tell you, it just opens the app store for me.
That's what I want to see.
All right, cool. One sec here. Here we go.
Okay. It's ArcEmu, I think is how you say it, most likely. Essentially what this is a emulation app for iPhone, but also has an Apple Watch app as well. Kwesi, I never thought I could play, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Like Pokemon Crystal, if you can see this. Probably not. On my watch. Wow.
I definitely couldn't see that. Can you I was not on that screen. Can you show again?
Oh. Let's go back. So, I'm playing Pokemon Crystal on my watch. This is a bad way to show this.
But okay, I can see it.
Pokemon Crystal, or whatever game you liked, from retro games to Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, list goes on forever. But the app is also for iPad, for your phone, iPhone, and Apple Watch. So if you really just wanted to play some classic games from your past or present on your watch or phone, that's a great app. I know I mentioned Delta has a great emulation app that I like and still use to this day. But this app offers just the Apple Watch version of things, and you can actually play it pretty well. Like, there is controls, it's easy to push things, it actually works pretty nice. And I believe to this day you can still use the Bluetooth controller if you really want to play these games on your watch. Yeah, I think you can. I'm wrong. But if that's the case, that's fantastic. So what you do is you get the ROMs on your phone, and then you share that ROM with the app on your watch, and then it's just there. And those ROMs are really, really tiny. Once again, how you get those, that's up to you. You can look yourself. I'm not going to tell you where to get them.
Gotta be legit, guys.
It's got to be legit. It's got to be legit. Hey, you know what? I'll say this really quick. If I bought the game, like for Game Boy, I should be able to put it on my phone. That's how I feel.
I agree. Especially if they shut down the eShop. Sorry, I'm getting to there.
Nintendo, let me just say something. If you bring the games that I played when I was a kid to the iPhone, like the Pokemon games, I would buy them. That is your fault. This is why I have to use apps like this, because you don't do that. Don't get mad at these developers and people doing this if you're failing to do it yourself. It's only your fault. If they do this, they would have to bring in so many dump trucks for the cash they would bring in from doing this. I thought Nintendo likes money. If you haven't looked at the new prices for the Switch 2 in the games, they like money. Do this, and I would be so happy. What is wrong with them? Sorry. But this app is a great reason why it brings you back to those times that you can play those games that you used to play, and I love it. So for me, that's my app of the week. Look it out. It's called ArcEmu, and it lets you play your watch, which I thought was kind of a cool concept. What's yours?
Okay, so this wasn't planned at all. Like, I didn't know you were going to do something Pokemon related. But here in my hand, I hold my new Nintendo 2DS XL, right? And now this relates to my app of the week. Just give me a second.
New?
No. That's the name. Like, it's called the new Nintendo 2DS XL. It's a stupid naming scheme. This thing is like 8 years old, right?
Okay. I was a little bit confused.
And it has a shattered screen, as you can see, right?
Oh my gosh, like
Horrible,
your phone did.
Right? Yeah, but this one wasn't my fault, right? That's not the point. The point is, yesterday I watched a YouTube video on how to mod it because I bought a new screen on Saturday. It's coming today. I also watched a YouTube video on how to fix the screen, right? Because I got all my tools. I got my toolkit right here. Right?
You have to definitely show us in the next podcast how that's fixed, by the way.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I'm excited to see that myself.
But here's the thing, right? My app of the week this week is 2 apps, actually. It's going to be Google and YouTube because you don't understand how helpful Google and YouTube were to me last night and over this weekend while I was researching exactly how to do this. Like, I taught myself how to solder. You might be like, Kwesi, what did you need to solder for?
Oh, wow.
Well, we haven't done it yet, but this button, it like broke off on the inside, so I need to solder on a new one. So I actually purchased a solder guide. It will be here tomorrow.
Just make
and
sure
I'll let you know
you
if I burn myself.
Make sure you have proper ventilation when you're soldering. That's all I can tell you for sure. Oh, yeah. When you melt electronics, usually has a very toxic fume that comes out of it.
Oh, does it? Am I going to kill
Yeah.
myself?
No, just, just like do it like where you can have a window open up or something like that. That's all I got to say. With a fan. So it doesn't, you don't breathe it in because it's very bad for everything that you have as a body part. So, very toxic. It's like vaping, but better. Really worse than that, actually.
Vaping, but better?
No, but worse, I should say. Yeah.
But worse?
It's not good.
Oh, that's great. All right, well, we are like completely over time. But we have to remind you guys, we have a Discord. We have, we're on every social media platform except for Instagram right now. I've really got to get that figured out. That's on me as the social media manager. I've been selling. But if you guys are coming from TikTok, YouTube, let us know. Leave a comment. Say that you saw the episode. And, we've been having a lot of discussions in our TikTok. Great conversations. If you want to leave a comment there, we'll respond. I promise, if we're not responding on the OMT podcast account, then we are definitely responding on our personal accounts. Like, Adam has been very active.
You don't understand, Kwesi. I was sitting at home in my chair, and I'm hearing Kwesi saying, okay, I uploaded some videos on our TikTok. I'm like, whoa, I gotta check this out. So I did, and one video had 9 comments. And let me tell you, I was super excited to see that. And I'm not sure if they're longtime listeners, if they're new people that listen now. I was so excited, so I was responding. Now, I said later on that I was a co-host, but never said to begin with, and people were engaging, and that's what I want to see. I want to see more engagement from people, and I love that. So we're going to do our best. Kwesi has worked out some back-end stuff to do some more short-form stuff, so we're going to be definitely posting a lot more of that. And now we have better cameras, so it's going to look a lot better. So the very first ones we had up, they were kind of washed out because it's my bad camera I had. But now, we are going to be posting in more platforms. We are working on actually pushing our episodes to more platforms besides what we have now as well. And we're on YouTube. Don't forget that. So not just YouTube podcast, but the actual video as well, YouTube, if you remember
shorts,
that.
Yeah.
And shorts. Well. So we're trying to expand our horizons, and we have some things we've been talking about in the background that I cannot wait to show you guys. It's not coming yet, but we'll give you more clues as we get closer to things. So what I'll say is this. We're trying to hit a big goal of subscribers. We're not there quite yet. We have things in the background we're working on. But with you guys just watching in short form and all this other stuff, please listen to our podcast on Apple and Spotify and all these other platforms. And just really just try to be more engaging. We want to hear what you guys think. We want to see that discussion that we saw on TikTok and all these other platforms as well, because we love seeing that. It gives us more hope. It gives us that drive that we
it's
have
really
to continue doing
encouraging.
this. I love seeing that. That was like, I was so excited. That was almost more exciting than me getting my iPhone. That's how it was for me. So, in any case, yeah, we are very much over our usually hour discussion, but this was a big episode. We have a lot to talk about. In any case, though, I for sure did not put the description updated for Discord, so I'm going to try and push that and all of our links as well. If there's any questions you guys have, just let us know in the comments below or in Discord. We have not seen a single person join Discord yet, so let's see if we can get like 10 people this week to join. That's our goal, okay? In any case, though, have a fantastic week, and next week's episode is going to be a banger because it's going to be dub time. So I'm super excited for that.
If you don't tune into any episode at all, next week is the one.
It's the one.
But I guess until then, you guys stay safe, have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
See you later.